Welcome back, everybody. And today's Tuesday watercolor and drawing. I'm just fixing up my shirt. Got everything. All right. So today we're going to do some flowers from my garden. And I'll show you how to draw. Now, I'm not going to do all of these, but we'll do, I already have one of the drawings already done, but I will show you how I go about drawing it. So these here, this is the iris that we have. Beautiful, beautiful iris. And they have 3 petals. They have falls and they have the top part petal. These have really pretty insides too. Kind of going into a burgundy and a blue, almost a bluey purple beard. That's what this is here. That's what they look like. They have this kind of like paper covering that was covered the bud. Okay, and these are the peonies that are left. It's a hot day, so they probably will be done. So this one here, these ones don't smell that great. This is called an peony. So they grow from the bottom in the most part, but they're bred with the tree peony, so they can have a woody stem and come from that in the spring too. But they last longer than your regular peonies, and they have more buds. This one's called Bartzilla. And then this one here is also an peony. This is called Raggedy Ann. This is beautiful. I love this one. The flares of purple in the center, and their stamens are really cool looking too. So maybe we'll draw one of those later. And this is a regular garden peony. Now these smell beautiful. They're almost done. This one's called Red Charm. It's got a few burn areas because it's so darn hot, but very, very full, compact peony. This is just an old-fashioned silver, I don't know what they call these, but people use them to put roses and peonies and that type of thing. So I just like to throw a few in every once in a while. And then the other thing is a yarrow. And that's what this is. It's kind of got a bluish, grayish tinge to the leaves and stems. Very bright yellow. And it kind of grows like Queen Anne's lace. So it gets a bunch of stems at the top. And as you can see, then has the flowers on the top of that. I just have it stuck in my water pail. So what I did was, I was sitting out in my garden and I thought, I may as well sketch. And this is what I sketched. This is the picture. I took a picture of the area. So I had the leaves of that yellow flower, and then this is the actual iris that I had drawn. I didn't put all of this in though. You can edit whatever you want. So I thought I will show you how I go about drawing a flower. So we'll draw maybe the iris here, and this way I can you can see what I'm seeing. I'm going to look at my monitor. I think that's good. You can see that. And I'm just going to draw it. Well, let's draw it on here. Let's see. Maybe I'll put it over here. Like, it's kind of hard to. I'm out as far as I can. Okay. So when you're drawing a complicated flower, where did I put my pencil? There it is. So, is that good for you guys? I hope so. I'm going to look at my monitor also. So when we're looking at this type of flower, in the center here, it's quite complicated looking. So you don't have to get really, really crazy with it. What you can do if you're doing it head on, or look at it, can you do it head on, or would it be easier from an angle? And it's probably easier from an angle. So let's see if I can put these. Yeah, like that. Okay. What can I use to prop this up? There. Okay, let's keep it there. And so what we look at are the shapes again. So I'm going to look at this part first. So it's more or less a round ball. But we got to remember these downfalls spread out quite far. This one here especially. So you have to allow space on your page for that. So let's put it right about here. And I'm just going to go around shape, because that's basically what it is. I'm not going in and out with all the petals yet. And then we have another fairly round shape, but it kind of crosses into here. So it's almost the size of this round ball. So let's make this a little bit bigger. And then this one over here is more of an oval shape. Now it does connect almost on the right in here. So I'm going to start here. And it's kind of out to the side, but it's more oval. So we'll go like this. Now I don't see the stem, but I'll just put a stem right here. Hey, Zandra, good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. How do you say your name? Yulia, is it? Okay, so then we start looking at, okay, we don't see this here, so you can take your eraser. I do use erasers because the top part overlaps the bottom from the way we're looking at it. Oh, good. You never know. Everyone pronounces things differently, or, you know. Okay, so from here, the ruffle right in there, right along here, we can start to do this. So it comes down in there and kind of folds over. Let's do that. So we look at it, and it's kind of starting in the middle here, right about here. And then it ends almost in the middle there. So we got, and it's frilly. And I'm not going to go exactly with the way it is. You can make it up a little bit. It kind of goes up here. I think I might have to increase my lighting because I'm having a hard time seeing the definition. Just for this, and then we'll lower it. Hey, Devin. There. All right, then, okay, that's part of this is the back petal too. So then this is part of the petal, as far as I'm seeing. Okay, so that kind of goes around. And like I said, you don't have to be exact. And then this one kind of overlaps it, but it's very frilly. You're seeing a lot of overlaps. So that kind of goes up into there. And then there's a little bit over here. Kind of tucks in there. And that goes back like that, because there's a little bit of a fold in there that you're seeing. Let's see if I'm gonna... And this here is actually the fold, like that. And then this comes up. So you're seeing that shape. And then this kind of goes like that. These things here, that's the other part, the kind of the inside of the flower that you're seeing this here. You don't have to worry about getting all exact. I don't. Let's see. And there's this. That goes right around like that. that. And then what I do after I'm done that, I erase any of the lines that were part of the shape that we first put down, so we don't get confused. So you can erase that. In there. Then it goes like that. Then these petals are still frilly too. So just play with it. There's some real deep. Real feathery or frilly. And goes like that. So I just did the outline. So that's why it's important to put your shape down, so it stops you from over exaggerating stuff or not making it big enough. When you have a shape down, you know that's kind of the area you want to stick to. You can go a little bit inside and outside of it, but try and keep it fairly close to those guidelines. I just dropped my pencil. Do you guys hear that fan? Because if so, I'll turn it off. Let's see. Actually, chat. Hey, Dot. Janet. All right, and then we have this frilly one, so it kind of comes around. It's got a little rip in it, that's fine. Lots of frillies. Okay, and then I just erase those. I guess you didn't see your uppercase comments. Cass, we can't see what you are doing. Oh, darn. I needed it for, sorry, for seeing what I'm doing. There we go. It's hard to see. What I'm seeing on my monitor isn't what you're seeing. Sorry. This is why it's hard doing drawing of plants, real plants, because it's hard to show you what I'm drawing. Okay, so then we have this beard. It's right in here, kind of. It's a little scoop, and then we have this fuzzies. I'm just going to put a little bit there. And there's kind of a center rib on it too. So let's see. I'm going to put some of these folds in. Yeah, I had to go big screen. See what I'm. It's kind of hard looking at a small little screen. Okay, there's the folds. Let's see. Lots of little ripples. Okay, and then you can do that with all the other, you don't have to make them all the same. You can make them a little different. A lot of these are smaller. They are very frilly. And then see if I can use the other. Lots of frills. These are like that. Might be a few in here. And can I see the ripples? I'm gonna go big for a minute. Thank you, God. You gotta catch the replay. Bye, everyone. Bye, Xandra. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. So lots of ripples. All right, so that's basically, I think this, I'm trying to see. I think this comes in like this. So it's rippled. And I don't think you see the little beard on that side. So, but there are lines that are in a different color, more of a burgundy shade, that are at the base of these petals. I see it a little bit in here. Kind of go out a little bit. Not a whole lot, but do see it. A lot of iris do have those in the inside part. So you can put those in if you want. Okay. So that's the basis of drawing. And then you can go ahead and paint that. So what I'm going to do is I drew a little painting of that whole this. So this is what I'm going to paint. So I will take this and let me think. Better take a picture now. And then I'll send it and have it printed. Okay. And I will put that up for all the members, and I will add this to it so you can paint. Or you can just use this and draw your own, whatever you want to do. Okay, so I'll just leave that there. I have my watercolor already sprayed, so that's good. This is the Yarrow that was with this iris. So I'll just stick it in this thing here. My brushes out. It's going to be fairly small, so I'll probably use this one more. It's a number 4. All right, so a lot of magentas, purples, bright yellows, like a Hensa yellow or Windsor yellow would do. And then we have some really pale, almost in the bluey tinge of green for the Yarrow. And then the iris, of course. I'm going to bring you guys in now so you can at least see what I'm painting. Is that good? Then you can see the picture too. Now there's different colors, but very, very pale. Almost, it's a very odd shade. So I'm guessing I'm going to spray my palette and clean it. So I want a real specific color. Some paper towels. So hope you had a good Father's Day on the weekend. It was absolutely cold here. We've had the weirdest weather. It's hot today, but like we were down to 16. Cold. Okay, let's try and make some colors up. So you could almost go into a praline green by Daniel Smith. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, that would actually do well. And then a little bit. So I'm gonna put that down here. And then I'm going to use some leaf green also right in here. Let's see. So if I mix the leaf green, yeah, that's a good color. And I'm not going to do the whole thing in this color though. I want some lights and some darks. So we can water it down. Just add some water to your brush. And they're almost like fern, very similar in shape. So just go back and forth. Add some of the darker color here and there, and then some lighter color, mix them up, but just use those two colors, so leaf green and then the praline green. Not even really going to paint exact. I like seeing the lines, but if you want to have it exact, you just paint those little lines. Might be a little bit of a darker color on the bottom, maybe. So you can add that. But if you mix it up, those colors, then you get a bit of a variance. It makes it more dimensional looking. Now, like I said, I'm not going to do the background. I'm just concentrating on the flower. I can add a little bit of darker here and there. Now the iris leaves are darker. And they're a little bit on a bluey tinge side. So you can do those. So I'm using the praline green for that. So I'm just go right over top. That's the nice thing about watercolors. They're transparent. So I did the Yarrow leaves first, and that's why I'm able to just go over top. Make this a little bit darker, I think, in here. Suggestion of more a little bit more on that bright color. I'm just using the very tip of my brush. And I'm gonna use that bright leaf green for the stems. Can you guys hear me okay? I have the fan going. If it's too loud, let me know. Just gonna put just a bit of green in the top here, where those separate as little stems on the flowers. Yes, we can. Okay, so you're not hearing the fan too much? So I can always turn it off. It's annoying. All right, and then I'm going to mix a little bit of that green with the Irish stem. So be a little bit on the darker side. And then as I get up to the top here, kind of goes into lemon yellowy green, and then a taupey color where the paper stuff is. So a little more of this. And just a hint in here. Ah. Oh, okay. So let's make a few more. There's some leaves right here. It's just so crazy hot. I don't have my air conditioner. It's been so cold. It's really weird weather. Like, we have like maybe, I don't know, a couple days of really hot weather, and then the rest of the days are cold, like 16, 18, 19, low 20s. It's really strange. Okay, and then I'm going to take a little bit of, let's see, raw sienna, I guess, but I'm going to really water it down. So I just want a touch for the paper edge. Just like that. Thanks, Devin. And the tops of this are bright yellow. So I'm going to use Hensa yellow. And right on the top, well, more or less do the whole thing. And then I'm going to shade it with a little bit of a darker color underneath. I missed a leaf. I think that's them. And then leaf in. Okay, and then shaded almost in a sienna color. Just on the very bottom. Just dab a little bit of this color in. Just a smidge. And that'll give it some depth. Yeah. Now, the beautiful iris. And it's, in real life, it's more purple, but it's showing more of a burgundy color. Well, as you saw, it's more purple. So if I were to do it like this, so this is what you're seeing, basically. Like that. See how the insides, right in here, it's lighter, and then it gets darker around the edges. It's almost got a blue tinge in here. So we're going to use dioxazine purple for sure. I'm going to get some of that on my palette. This color is extremely powerful. And then I do want some bright violet. And maybe just a bit of French ultramarine right here. Okay. So around the bottom, it's beautiful. It's more of a magenta violet. It's an odd shade. I'm going to put a little bit of purple with it. I'm just going to dab around the edge. So I know that it kind of curls up in some areas. So I'll just gingerly dab with the point of my brush and get those darks in. We'll do the falls first. Like that. Then I just have a little bit more water on my brush. I'm just going in with a lighter color of that, or lighter shade, I should say. And as I go towards the center, it's going to get lighter. So I can just use clean water and move that into the center. And same with that. May not be exactly the same, but it's pretty close. That. And I'm going to take some of that dioxazine purple, and I'm just going to do little stamens in that. The beard. And then I'm going to let that dry a little. And the top part is almost the same, although it doesn't have the blue. It's more on the purple side. So I'm going to add a little more purple to this mix. And we'll just do the top. And I can still see my lines. So we can go back and put a little bit of a darker section in where those lines are, because there'll be shadows, basically. Let that dry. And I'll do this bud. The bud is almost black. It's so dark. So I'm going to just use the dioxazine purple. Okay. Now inside here is really dark. It's almost like the stamens. And then you just, while it's still wet, you can just put a little bit of this purple in where those lines were, showing the folds in your this is the curled up part. And I'm just basically dabbing along the edge. And with a little bit of water, you can just touch it and it'll, this is a strong color, so it will run really easily. Darker in some areas. And I can also take away colors. So if I want a little bit of a highlight, just get a thirsty brush, so a little damp brush. Just take away, just in the center, some areas where you see it's a little lighter. Like that. And I think it's lighter. Yeah, this one's okay. Let's let that dry now. I'll use the dryer. I find it interesting that you started with the dark edges first. Yeah, in this one you can do both, actually. Either way, light then dark. I knew I was going to take my brush and let clean water bring that dark into the center where it was lighter. Okay. Now, let's see what else we can do. I think we could probably take a little bit of this blue. Let's see what happens. put it in the center. It almost went, it's almost got a blue, this blue tinge in the parts of it. It's very cool. I don't know if that's showing up for you guys or not. And we can also darken some of these stem areas. There'd be a little bit of a, from what I'm seeing on my picture here, we have a shadow on the right side. Can put a little bit of a shadow down there. Underneath. That. Some of the leaves could be a little darker under here. You want to darken them up in between the yarrow. Might be overlaps there, or be a little bit of a shadow cast. You could take colored pencil if you wanted to, and put some more detail in. Let's see. Miss anything? Let's see here. Just cleaning up the edges a little bit. Okay, let's dry it and then we'll see what we can do with pen. Now I would want a fairly, move these out of the way. Fairly small nib pen. So let's see, 3 or 1. There's a 3. These are my perma or micro perm. I like them. Now, I like to put just a bit, not the whole thing, but just a bit. And mostly where I would have shadows or a little more definition needed, like probably under here. I know the ruffles was kind of flipped over. So maybe if I put a little bit more of that on there. It does get a little darker in the center here too. So I could put a little bit more in that little rough little beard. Put some little. It was fairly dark, so this was very ruffled. And then wherever there's folds, or more of the, you know where the sections were. Lots of folds. Just have to make sure you're putting them in the right direction. That's all. Let's see. They are very, very frilly. Where they meet, like intersections, I guess. I like to darken some of those. So maybe in the center where the yarrow is, make those darker. So concentrated, be a little more darker. Don't have to take it all the way up to the top, but you could, I guess, if you wanted to. Under a leaf or where they attach to a stem, sometimes that looks good. If you want to define where a leaf is. just a few dabs underneath the flower. You don't have to do the whole thing, but just a few little squiggles here and there. That gives it a little bit more definition, shading. This one here is kind of disappeared, so I'm gonna define it a little bit so it pops up a little bit more. Leaves underneath there. You can put things in too that haven't been painted. I like the look of that. So if you've missed something, say a leaf or whatever, you can still put it in. It's just part of a drawing and not painted. I really like the look of that. Could you please zoom in a tiny? Yep. That good? So it all depends on what you want to show. Find some of these leaves, maybe just a little bit of underneath the leaves. Just put a little bit of squiggle, and that'll define some of them. You don't have to do them all. You just do a few. You could add extras in if you wanted to. It's kind of like doodling, doing this part. Very relaxing. So I'm just basically just doodling these leaves back in, but only doing parts of them. And the pencil is still showing too. So it kind of gives it a little bit more texture back in here where you kind of need it because it should be full looking. Different colors of green. There's iris leaves in here, and there's lots of this yarrow going every which way. So you kind of want it busy, but not overly busy. You kind of have to play with it until you see what you like. And that's why I like doing it in my journals, because that's where you learn. Just play. Don't worry about it. Everything's good. This is your little area where you learn. What your books or your journals, books, whatever you're doing yours in, this is where you learn. So don't make it precious. If you really like what you did, make another one. Make it in a book that you're going to put your specially made stuff. Art should be relaxing for you, not a stress. If you're learning something, don't put a time limit on it. Just relax. Do your best. Enjoy what you're doing. Concentrate on what you like and don't like. And then write those things down in a book so you won't do them again. Put some hash marks where it'd be dark. Or write your notes on the back of it. Yeah, exactly. And then you have it right there to see what it was and how you did it. And yeah. There. Okay, that's all I'm going to do for the pen work. And now I can take, actually, yeah, let's do a little dabs in here. Just on the bottom part. Little dashes and dots on the bottom, just to show that it's kind of textured. There. And then you can take a white if you want, either pencil crayon or, let's see, or a pen. This one will work. And some of these might have a little bit of light around here. It's kind of hard. Maybe the pens. I'm going to try a colored pencil. Let's sharpen it though. Just a few light areas. Sometimes you see that where those folds are, the little ruffles, there's a lighter area beside that dark area. That'll give it a little more a show of the ruffle. Just kind of have to pay attention to it, where you're putting it. Don't put too much. And I think a real bright pink, a magenta color. Let's see. There's some real bright areas where the sun's catching it. You can just put those in a little bit here and there. It's a very unusual color, iris. That could be darker. Get that out. And let's see, a dark purple. Violet. Right in here. Just a little bit more. It would be darker coming out of the center. There was some veining in there. You can put some of that in. Here. What? Or white with notes. LOL, Kathy, that'll do till you learn how to paint. Just play. That's all you gotta do. Play. All right. And if there's any pencil marks you don't want on it, just use your eraser and get rid of them. Most of these I want because I like the look of it, but that's a preference, really. But I like it. I think I'm done. So today is June 21st. So we'll put 6. And 2. Thanks, Devin. All right, so I will, hopefully that picture I took for the traceable will work. And I'll put it on the community page and also in the Patreon. So check your members community page this evening, and I'll have it for you, the traceable, and I will. Do you want this finished piece also, or do you want this to go by? Because I'll put one or the other. Thanks for the lovely string, Kathy. Yeah, I'm glad you made it. Is it too hot to be outside today? It is here. Crazy, crazy. Set up for my whatever you decide would be great. Okay. Well, you guys try and enjoy your day. Get your sketchbook out, do a little sketching. So there's the iris we did. So that's just sketched from this one here. So if you want to try and do that. Should be able to, sorry about, I was on large screen because I couldn't see the folds because this is a really dark flower. But yeah, same here, Kathy. I'm going to be even hotter here tomorrow. Oh yeah, we're getting 2 days and then we're back to 21, that type of thing. I like that. So have a fantastic day, and we'll see you on Thursday, and we'll finish up that journal cover that I started and probably do a little painting on it too. So we'll see you on Thursday at 1 o'clock Eastern. If you're new and you haven't subscribed, it would be greatly appreciated if you did, and ring the bell for notifications. All right, I'll let you guys go and have a fantastic day, everyone. Stay creative.